athleticism and things you haven't seen, but it seemed like tonight that was really on display.
Yeah. You know, it's been an interesting process to get to this point in our season, in the fact that, you know, kind of our old guard kind of held down the fort until these guys, a lot of these guys got more and more comfortable in the system, more and more used to the college game. And, you know, we faced some heavy artillery early in the season, you know, Wisconsin and NC State. And so, you know, some of these guys didn't get absolutely thrown in there enough. And, you know, they're doing a great job of hanging in there, getting better. And then when they get their chance, like James has, taking advantage of it. And that's what I tell these guys that are wanting to play more. They all want to play more, obviously, but they're great team guys. Is just make it obvious, make it so it just has to be like, okay, well, I'm crazy if I sub that guy out, you know. And I think we've seen that with James Webb, and now we're seeing the growth of some of the other guys too coming along with it.
So was tonight kind of a glimpse of what you were talking about as far as the athleticism being a game changer for you guys?
Absolutely. I mean, now you got Montego and you got Chandler, who's long and athletic, and he's a stat filler, you know, and he's watching James run in there and get rebounds and like, yeah, I can do that too. And, you know, so I think it's going to make him a better player. And, you know, Kevin's just, I think, steadily getting better. And, you know, David's going to get his mojo back. And all of a sudden you got a lot of guys you can turn to. I'm probably forgetting because there's so many of them down there that, you know, and so it's a challenge for our staff. And but the bottom line is they're making it work because they're great, unselfish guys. And I mean, in a game like this, we only had two guys. We scored 91 points, and only had two guys in double figures and 20 assists. That I think that speaks volume of who these guys are. They didn't care, you know. I mean, there's a couple guys on this team that could go out and try to get 40 in a night like this, and you know they don't. They play together, and I mean, Iggy, he just is a selfless player. He plays 20 minutes, 6 assists, no turnovers, and only takes 3 shots. I mean, that's a guy that's understanding his role, playing his role at the highest level, and when you get guys buying in like that bodes well for your team. And so, you know, they need to be commended for that. And in the end, that's going to make us a really good team come February and March.
About 1 assist to turnover ratio, and James Webb, no turnovers.
No turnovers.
I mean, I'm talking about the control he's playing with. Right?
Yeah. I mean, he's just, you know, the thing that, like with James, like defensively, we just want to keep it simple for him and let him fly around and make plays. And then same with the rebounding, just fly around and make plays. And you know, boy, he does. And you know, and then just keep it simple on offense. And he's just, I'm really proud of James. He's, you know, we pushed him hard last year and a half, and he's really starting to develop into a high level player.
Is this who he is?
About 7 minutes in, he goes flying over, trying to get a loose ball.
Yeah.
Is that the best example you can give of one of those loud plays that make it impossible to sub a guy out?
Absolutely. That's it. And that's, you know, the great thing is when guys are coachable, and when we're getting these guys to fly around like that, and you know, we brought, you know, I'm not comparing them to last year's guy, but we had maybe one of the best effort guys I've ever coached. You know, he took himself beyond what reasonable basketball players play with, and if we get some of these guys playing with that kind of effort, then we could be a special team.
You mentioned Iggy. Why would you define Iggy's role and kind of maybe even this senior year? You know what he does for you guys.
Well, he's taken so much. You know, we've got such an emphasis on defense, and he's just taken pride in it and just said, "I'm going to do it." And you know, he likes to take the best players, the best guards, you know, and he can take a wide variety of players because he's a good-sized guard. So he can guard quickness guys, he can guard shooters, he can guard bigger guards. And so he's a versatile defender, and he's a great setup guy. He makes players around him. 6 assists tonight, no turnovers, and he just put it on a tee a couple times for Nick Duncan. And if you do that with a great pass for Nick Duncan, that usually results in a 3 for us. And so I'm just really, really proud of him because, you know, over the years his roles evolved, and as we got more scores, he was asked to score less, really, and he accepted that role, and he wanted to be part of the championship team, and you know, so I'm really, like I said, I can't say how proud of him, of Iggy I am, because you know sometimes that's not easy, and you know guys want to shoot, you know, a lot of guys want to shoot every time. Sometimes it's a big that we need, sometimes it's a, you know. I mean, Montego, if we need a super quick guy to break a press, or you know, so it's not always, but yeah, Iggy's been
beginning of that big run you guys went on in the first half, you put the press on them. Is that something you think you can be successful with later in the season in league play?
Well, yeah, it's something that, you know, you can't make I mean, we're not, you know, that's not completely our style, but it's something that you can disrupt some flow of. I mean, if you just, you know, for us, we're not physically gifted enough to just sit back and play the same way for 40 minutes every time. And then we have to take advantage of some of our athleticism that we have out there. And so it's something we want to get better at.
I know the level of competition has something to do with it, but you have 9 guys with at least 5 points tonight. I mean, do you feel like depth-wise you may have some more options this year than
Oh,
maybe?
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, think about it. Anthony Drimmick, our leading scorer, didn't play, and he scored 91 points. There's a lot of teams you take the leading scorer off their team, they're not going to score 91 points, and it doesn't matter who they're playing. And so, you know, so that's a good sign. I mean, because we all know what Anthony can do. I mean, this guy can come out and get 30. So you got a bunch of other guys that can contribute, and they're gonna have to contribute for us to be, you know, down the road to the level we want to be at.
And I guess one more on James. I mean, that's 4 games in a row with double figures, and I think 2 straight double-doubles. Is this? I know the competition has something to do with it, but is this what we should be, expecting out of him? Not 20 points, but I mean, a guy that's going to get, scoring double figures and grab you 8, 9, 10 rebounds.
Well, I was after that Tuesday game, I was really excited to get back to the practice floor and be able to coach James more, because I was like, oh, God, he could have had 20 and 15. You know, I mean, he's just scratching the surface of how good he's going to become, and so we want to keep getting it better, keep pushing it. I mean, he had 18 and 11 in 19 minutes, so yeah, like you said, it's he's just doing great things for our team, and he's going to really help us this year.
If you were starting league play tomorrow, is James Webb in the starting lineup?
Oh yeah, right now, yeah,
And what would the conversation had been like had Des Trent shot that ball at the end?
Well, you saw
Yeah,
I think
we
you
saw
guys
the
saw
whole
the whole thing, and that's good. Des is learning, and he's God bless him. He's trying to do the right things. He did some good things in the second half. I mean, one thing Des can do in a hurry is score a lot of points, and he's guarding a little bit better in the second half. I thought he did a nice job.
Seems like he was smiling. He knew.
Because I was yelling, "Give it to Joe." Yeah.
In the first half, coach, you had some interesting lineups out there. You had a lineup at one point that was Iggy, Mikey, Hutch, Allen, and Heyer. Is that something where you're trying to get Hutch to play the 4 more, or Heyer to play the 4, maybe to set them up for later in the season?
Yeah, we're it's like I said before, it's a Rubik's cube, and you turn it so many times. Sometimes you have all the wrong colors. It just doesn't look right, or it's going to be odd lineups, or so there's going to be some of that sometimes. And the good thing about our odd lineups is we can play right through them. Our guys know they're getting comfortable at doing it. Where sometimes if you put an odd lineup out there, we got Mikey, Derek, Tigo, and now you got to match up with them. And now your second quickest guy has to guard Mikey, and your third quickest guy has to guard Derek. So there'll be some dangerous things that we can come across, but sometimes it's just we're trying to get a lot of guys minutes, and so mixing and matching can come on.
Montego was another guy that had a really good game for you off the bench, 9 points. I mean, kind of talk about his athleticism on the team and kind of what he means kind of coming off of that bench for you.
Oh yeah, 9 points, 4 assists. I mean, and he can shoot the ball. He can get anywhere he wants. So, and his decision making is just getting better and better. So that's huge. He's going to help us again. Another guy that's different than what we have too.
As a coach, these last couple games, how exciting is this time for you when you get that athleticism and you knew it was going to be there, but to kind of now see it in action, kind of maybe see where this team's going, and I guess there's still things to go considering you didn't have Anthony in there,
Right.
but how exciting has this been for you to kind of see it and work?
As a coach, when you're we're on practice number 46, and it's a long grind for these guys. But as a coach, I mean, we always are excited to express, but you're really excited to get back to these guys because they're all trying to get better. And when you got a group of guys like that, and it's as a coach, and you're getting rewarded for it, and they're showing progress and they're making themselves better. It's just a joy to be out on the practice floor with them. And I told them that after the game. I'm probably a little more excited to get back there tomorrow than they are, but they know they're making progress also. And they got a team that